So
just to bring up another example of this, is it ABC or which?
NBC.
NBC, thank you.
That's
Dateline.
what I was going to say.
Last time I checked, they're not. No one's suing them or getting upset with them because they're. I mean, there are sometimes men who are on the chat rooms that pretending to be 13-year-old girls,
right.
and all these guys that come on this show are getting in trouble. So obviously, I just think it's funny that depending upon the situation
right.
and the place that you are, the rules change. I mean, and people don't know what I'm talking about. What is the name of the show?
To Catch a Predator.
To Catch a Predator. I mean, they've done several different.
Yeah.
It's been. I mean,
not all undercover journalists are equal. in one sense, brave undercover work is lauded. In the great papers and editorial boards as being, look at this bold, cutting to the real issues, finding out what violations and helping protect American citizens by bringing out the truth. And then when other work that's done from a different, whatever you want to say, political or philosophical, direction, hopefully people can agree that not following state law is a bad thing.
Is a bad thing.
That there's just a different take on it, and it's very interesting.
Well, I think the comparison to Catch a Predator series is an interesting one because you actually have an interesting. Cause I thought the series was awesome. I think every parent should watch at least one of those episodes. I've seen them all several times. I've actually know someone who is in the Georgia Sting. I mean, yeah, it's that bad. Not like a good friend of mine, but
scary.
One of my wife's old babysitters actually. And, trust me, it was a big shock when the guy ends up on TV walking to his house thinking, yeah. So because I didn't even know about the series until then, but then I watched all of them. I thought they were fantastic, and I wouldn't show it to like little kids or anything like that for sure. But no, that was interesting because with To Catch a Predator, you had some controversy there. There was a small, I would say, a small percentage of people that were very against that series. Some of them were like in the neighborhoods where they would be shooting. They'd be like, "Oh, you're bringing these dangerous predators to our neighborhood." Some people felt like it was entrapment. Some people, said, you can't accuse these guys of anything when they never really were going to end up doing anything in the end. They just didn't know that. So you had the small people, either way, saying it was fraud or entrapment. You have the same thing here, where most people still thought To Catch a Predator, it was a good series. It made those points, and that's the same thing here. I went onto the last YouTube video's comment section where there were 333 at the time yesterday, trying to find pro-choice comments and arguments that we could talk about in the show. It was very difficult to find. There's very few.
And we found that the response really has been silence more than anything, because there really isn't a good response to saying, who wants to defend that sex between a 31 and a 13-year-old, covering that up is a good thing.
Yeah.
And so what we hope is that that reform is actually done, and that Planned Parenthood will come clean about what's going on, and we have confidence about this being a widespread thing and just not being a one clinic or a one state thing. Of course, I have the luxury of being privy to a lot more information than the public is, but I hope if someone is skeptical, they hang with us and see in time as we release things what the truth really is.